There's a new, and honestly pretty terrifying threat out on the open seas. We're talking about ghost boats, and this is the story of the attack on the oil tanker, the MT SAFESEA VISHNU. So let's get right into it and break down what happened.
Okay, I want you to just picture this. You're on the deck of a massive ship, miles and miles from any shore. The only thing you can hear is the sound of the ocean against the hull. It's just a routine night, like any other.
And out there, the darkness is, well, it's absolute. The only lights you can see are the ones on your own vessel. It's this incredibly isolating, almost unnerving kind of quiet.
And what's under your feet? Oh, just 48,000 metric tons of cargo that is highly flammable. You're basically floating on a giant bomb, where a quiet, uneventful trip means everything.
But then you see it, a shape, cutting through the water, and it's heading right for you. There are no lights, no signals, and as it gets closer, it hits you with this just sinking feeling. There's nobody driving it.
So this isn't some made-up story. This is exactly what the crew of the MT SAFESEA VISHNU had to face on March 11, 2026, and it marks a really chilling new chapter in what maritime attacks look like.
Now, everything we're about to go through, this isn't just guesswork or speculation. We're pulling this straight from the official press release issued by India's Directorate General of Shipping. So this is a clear, factual account of exactly what went down.
So let's look at the timeline. The tanker was just sitting there, stationary off the coast of Iraq, doing a totally standard cargo operation. And then, at 2100 UTC on March 11th, a totally normal night of work just exploded into chaos when this ghost boat slammed into the vessel.
So let's be super clear on what this thing actually was. This was no accident. The early reports are describing a white, pilotless speedboat that was packed with explosives. Its only job, to act like a remote-controlled missile and ram right into that tanker.
With a weapon this high-tech, this impersonal, a very real human drama unfolded in just a matter of seconds. The attack might have been remote-controlled, but for the people on board, the danger was right there, and it was absolutely devastating.
And it's so important to remember, we're not just talking about numbers here. There were 28 people on that ship, a multinational crew, folks from India and the Philippines, all suddenly thrown into a fight for their lives, together.
That impact immediately sparked a huge fire. The crew, they had no choice. They had to abandon ship, jumping right into that dark water. A nearby tug that was part of the cargo op started the rescue right away, before the Iraqi Coast Guard showed up to get everyone out of there.
And unfortunately, this is where the story gets truly tragic. In their official statement, the Directorate General of Shipping had to confirm the death of Shri Deonandan Prasad Singh, who was the ship's additional chief engineer. Just a devastating loss.
The good news is that the other 15 Indian nationals, including the ship's captain, they were rescued and are reported to be safe. They're currently on a small island near Basra while the authorities figure out the next steps.
So, look, this incident off the coast of Iraq, it's not just about one attack on one ship. This is a huge wake-up call, and it's sending these ripples of concern across the entire global shipping industry. What we're seeing here is a huge shift in the kinds of threats ships face. We're all kind of used to the idea of traditional piracy, right? Bad guys boarding a ship for robbery or to take hostages. This is a whole different ballgame. It is high-tech, remote-controlled sabotage, and it's designed for nothing but maximum destruction. Officials are calling this an evolving security challenge, and honestly, that phrase hits the nail on the head. Because this isn't just about protecting one ship anymore. It's about how we secure the very arteries of global trade against a kind of threat that's way harder to spot, to predict, and to defend against.
So what's happening right now? Well, the immediate response is still very much in progress. You've got firefighting tugs out there still trying to contain the fire on the Vishnu. And behind the scenes, there's a huge diplomatic and logistical effort kicking into gear, with the Indian government and its embassy in Baghdad working super closely with the Iraqi authorities.
An attack like this really forces everyone in the maritime world to stop and ask some really tough questions. Questions about what the future of safety on the high seas even looks like. And it all boils down to this one giant question. When the enemy isn't a pirate you can see climbing aboard, but a remote-controlled boat packed with explosives that can just appear out of the darkness, how in the world are commercial ships supposed to defend themselves? What does maritime security look like now? That is the critical question that authorities and shipping companies are now scrambling to answer.